Fall is the perfect time to dig and divide spring flowering perennials. Tucker Reed's going to show us in just a second, but here are some examples. This hardy amaryllis, the garden pinks, the little single dianthus that Bath's Party Pink is what that one is. These are examples of things that would be dug and divided in my landscape. Let's see what they're doing at the Dallas Arboretum. This is the time of year that you divide spring and early summer flowering perennials. We have Tucker Reed, horticulture manager from the Dallas Arboretum, with us today. And Tucker, these are tools that some people use. You say that your family has always liked a spading fork. I like a nursery spade, and I see you're using yet a third option.
Yes, I am.
And tell us what you're about to divide.
Well, I got a daylily here, and it's been in the ground in this location for a number of years, and they start to lose their vigor when they get too bound in their space. So we'll pop it up out of the ground, cut it in half, spread it out, and next year we'll have two plants, both which have more vigor than the one did.
And if you were a grower, you could divide it into probably 10 plants.
Oh, I could divide this down to a lot of plants if I wanted to, but I tend to be a little bit on the conservative side as far as dividing goes.
Show us what the roots look like.
All right, 1 second. All right, so the first thing is to get it up out of the ground. And then...
I'll bet you're going to use this, aren't you?
I am. I'm actually going to use that. And I like to find a clear path where I can see that there's distinctly two halves. And then I just find a nice sharp spade and I just drive it through.
And you may lose a plant or two here or there.
You may.
I've grown daylilies all my life, and there's one you've lost, but it's no big
lost.
deal because the roots are in there somewhere. I've grown daylilies all my life, and I very often, Tucker, will break them apart in my hand because I'm going to be growing, breaking them into individual plants more.
So, and this is, all of these will heal over in a very short period of time. And then you just plant this as it is. If you wanted to go smaller, you could cut this in half again after that.
Then I usually will trim them about here.
Yep.
You're gonna break them because
well,
you didn't bring
typically
your
typically
you're strong and you're showing off.
Twist off the top so that you don't stress out the roots any more than you have to, because they can't. These roots aren't going to be able to supply the energy to all of those tops.
All right, so you'll plant these back this far apart or so for daylilies? Depends on the variety
12 to 18 inches. Of bigger varieties, I'll give them more space. But
other plants that we ought to be digging and dividing now would include iris. They could include violets if you have those in your garden. They could include what other things? There's
lilies are still able to be done right now.
Shasta daisies, gloriosas.
Yep, any of the daisy families that have already bloomed.
When would you do cannas?
I typically do cannas in the spring.
Right before they start growing.
Just as you start seeing a
little narrow window, isn't it? Because they come up
as soon as you start seeing that little bit sticking above the ground, pop them up, cut them in half.
What about hardy amaryllis? St. Joseph lily.
That's
late winter.
Yeah,
very late winter.
Yep.
All right. So that's what we do with daylilies, with iris, other spring blooming perennials. This is the time of year. Thank you, Tucker.
No problem. My
very
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.